Hey APV ladies, let's get started with session 4. I'm going to have you either place your hands on your hips or on your knees, close your eyes, and let's start off with some breathing here. In through the nose and out through your mouth. Rolling the shoulders back and down, drawing the belly button in and up. Just focusing on our breath, connecting our mind to our body. And we're going to start to lean our head over to one shoulder. Inhale, lift up through center. Exhale over to the other side. Inhale to lift. Exhale, ear to shoulder. Let's start to drop the chin down and roll from side to side. Still inhaling through center and exhale as the ear hits the shoulder. Stretching through each side of the neck. And start to lift the chin up to the ceiling. Same thing, shoulder to shoulder, chin is now lifted through center and dip to the other side. We're going to do a full roll here. I want you to drop your chin down, over to the other shoulder. Lift the chin up and back where you started. Now switching sides, lift up first, then drop down through center and back to center. Fantastic. Now sweep the arms out and up. Bring one arm open to the side, one arm down to the floor, and reach overhead for a side mermaid stretch. Lift up, and same exact thing, sweep up, over to the other side. Exhale. Inhale, lifting up through center, and reset. I'm going to do this a few times on each side. Feel free to reach through center, stretching out that spine, and roll all the way back up. Let's go ahead, roll those shoulders back and down, and when you're ready, get into a 4-point kneel, hands and knees. Tuck your toes under. We're going to push straight back, sitting our bottom onto our heels, lifting the knees off the floor, and pushing forward into a cobra pose. You can do swan and rest the knees if you'd like. But for more challenge, keep those knees raised right over the floor as you push back and push forward. Inhale as you push back, exhale as you sink forward. Try not to allow those shoulders to get up into the ears. This is a good time to start focusing on that core engagement. Moving with your breath forward and back. Just a few more here before we get set up for our first plank. Last one. And let's go ahead, step one foot back and the other one to meet it. We're going to start with outside the mat toe taps. Bring one foot out, tap, and back in. Try to keep the hips level, belly button drawing in, chest lifted up out of the shoulders, bottom is lifted up to shoulder height. Inhale out, exhale, step in. Then hold your plank in center after this next set. Drop down to your forearms. Let's dip the hips from side to side. Try not to allow those hips to drop lower than the shoulders. Just a slight dip down, rainbow them up slightly, then over to the other side. Exhale, dip. Inhale, lift through center to switch sides. And let's rest our knees and push back into a child's pose. For set number 2, you're going to tuck your toes under, then push your bottom straight up to the ceiling for a downward facing dog. Exhale, shift forward into your plank line, and inhale, lift through the back of the legs, press the chest to the ankles. Just alternating between downward facing dog and our plank. Inhale, lift. Exhale, push forward. Drop down to those forearms or stay on your hands. It's really up to you where you start here. We're just going to alternate between the two. Now, if this doesn't work for you, feel free to just hold your stable plank and revert back to the previous exercises, toe taps or hip dips. Otherwise, we're just alternating forearms down, then hands. Then either stay on the forearms or the hands and start your plank saw series. You point through the ankles and toes, then you push those heels back. Still holding your same plank line, shifting the shoulders over the wrists. After about 5 to 6 sets, rest your knees down and push back into a child's pose. For set number 3, tuck the toes under. We're going to do a combo. Push back into that puppy pose with raised knees. Push forward into the cobra. And push up into downward facing dog. Then into the plank. And again, inhale, back puppy pose. Exhale, swan cobra. Inhale, lift for downward facing dog. And exhale, shift into that plank. I'm going to do this about 5 times. Take your time with it. Focus on your shoulder positioning. Try to keep that core engaged throughout the entire series. Shoulders out of the ears. You can absolutely do these exercises with your forearms on the floor. Just know you might not get as much of a lift when you push back into the puppy pose and into your downward facing dog. We're going to hold here for our plank. Try to make this as difficult for yourself as possible. Then rest down on your knees and push back into that child's pose again. Great work. Thread the needle, stretching out those shoulders. Inhale, you're going to return back to center. Exhale, thread the needle on the other side. Then back to center. We're going to get up into our 4-point kneel. Move through some cats and cows. For your angry cat, tuck your chin into your chest, round your spine to the ceiling. Happy cow, lift your chin up through the shoulders, open that chest as you drop the low belly to the floor. Inhale, rounding. Exhale, arching. And let's go ahead and start our side lying series. Pick a side, any side. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. You can either place the hand on the hip in front of you or reach it up to the ceiling, supporting your bottom arm on the forearm. Starting with a lift and lower of that top leg. Inhale, point the toes, lift the leg straight to the ceiling, open hip. Exhale, lower it down to the ground. Going for about 8 sets here. Lifting all the way up and lowering all the way down. Take your time in trying to stretch out that knee, balancing your hips one on top of the other, staying out of your shoulders. Straightening through the back of the leg. Then move forward into your bend and extend. Pulling the knee into a tabletop position, then stretching it down to the floor. You can try to keep that foot flexed, driving through that heel as you bend and extend. If you're prone to cramping, you can just let that foot relax. Again, doing an 8-rep series here. And extend that leg to the ceiling. Let's start to bend and stretch that leg, focusing on the stability of the hip. After 8 bend and stretches, place that foot down in front of your bottom leg, knee pointed to the ceiling. Start your bottom leg lift and lowers, inner thigh lifts, if you will. Inhale to lift the leg, exhale to lower it down. Let's do about 2 more from here. And start to draw circles with that lifted bottom leg 3 times in each direction. And we're going to rest that leg on the floor, straighten both legs out. Place your top arm right in front of your belly. Use it to lift your hips up, side planking. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Do this 5 times total. At 5, lift and hold. Reach your top arm to the ceiling. Sweep it underneath your oblique and open it back up. Eyes will follow that top arm. Last 2. Then lift and hold. Start those pulses, lifting to the ceiling 5 times. Rest all the way down onto your belly, then push back into a child's pose for a counter stretch. Push forward into that swan cobra if you'd like. Then we're going to get set up. Do the same exact thing on the other side. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. Again, forearm is down. Top arm is either supporting you in the front, on your hip, or reaching it to the sky. Pick your poison here. Start that lift and lower of your top leg up to the ceiling and down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Moving in reps of 8. After that last one, you'll bend your leg in and start those extensions. Bend to tabletop, then stretch it out down to the floor, stacking it right on top of that bottom leg. Inhale to bend, exhale to extend. Still being mindful of our hip placement, our shoulder placement, our core control, drawing in through that belly button. And again, once you've reached number 8, we're going to hold that leg up into that tabletop position. Start extending it to the ceiling and bending it back. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, bend. If you're feeling the shake like I am, you're doing it right. Even if you're not there yet, so happy your stabilizers are so strong, you guys. The shake is a good thing. Let's place that foot right in front of our bottom leg and start those inner thigh lifts. You can take that hand onto your hip up to the sky or down in front of you for support. But again, just doing 8 reps here total. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Then let's start those circles. Lifted leg, just drawing. Keep that toe pointed. You're using your hip. Ankle is stabilized. 3 times in each direction. Then we'll rest that leg down. Stretch the top leg over top. Place that bottom or top hand right in front of your belly and lift up for that plank. For more challenge, you can take the hand onto the hip or up to the ceiling. Just doing 5 total. After number 5, you're going to hold that lift. Reach the arm to the sky and start that elephant series. Sweep the arm under the oblique, then reach it up to the sky. Exhale. Inhale, sweep under. Exhale, open up. 5 times total. Then lift to stay. Pulse it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest down. Push into child's pose. Push forward into your swan cobra. And set back up. Let's start with our kneeling series. Now I want you to bring one leg forward into a lunge position. Place it back on the floor and switch. We're just doing 3 on each side. Inhale, lifting the leg up. Exhale, place it back down onto the floor. Just helping us open up our hips, focus on our mobility and balance. And let's keep our left leg forward. Place that left hand right in between those legs and reach the right arm to the ceiling. We're going to get up into our warrior pose. One leg is stretched back, the other knee pushes forward. I want you to reach forward over that left leg. Push into it. Kind of shifting that knee forward of that ankle, but still behind the toes. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Just a few more, then into those pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then place that left hand on the hip. Reach the right hand overhead. Return to center and switch. Think mermaid here. Whichever arm is up overhead is the arm that you are looking at. Still controlling through that low core, drawing the belly in, digging into those heels, maintaining our balance. And let's place that hand back on the floor. Return to center. And now you have one hand on each side, squaring up your hips. Reach the arms forward, tap the floor, and lift the chest up. After about 5 reps, we're going to place our hands down, start to lift up through our back leg. Squeeze through the glute, pushing through those toes. Put all of your weight into that front leg. 3, 2, and 1. Start to lift all the way up through center. Arms reach to the sky, leg lifts. Now lower the chest down, reach the leg back, reach the arms forward, and pulse up 10 times. This is 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place the foot down on the floor and stack that spine back up. Let's reset. I'm going to walk over to the other side so y'all can see me better. Kneel down on the floor again. I want you to place those hands on your hips. Starting from square one, push one leg forward for the lunge. Sweep it out and back to kneeling in center, and switch legs. Again, 3 times on each side. Last time we started with our left leg forward. Now we're starting with the right. We need to tuck the toes under. Again, we're going to plant that hand down right in between the legs and start to stretch all the way up. Push off the front leg and find your balance into your warrior pose. Start to shift your weight forward. Inhale, exhale back. Just pushing that knee slightly forward of that ankle, but still behind the toes. Left hip remains open. Foot can be turned. Last 2. And hold it. Start those pulses. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. 3, 2, 1. Going right into our mermaid. stretches, hand on the hip overhead with that other arm. Return to center into warrior and switch sides. Again, your eyes go where that top arm goes. Opposite hand on the hip, rotating back and right overhead. After 3 times on each side, return to warrior. Start to rotate towards the center, placing both hands back on the floor. Once you've squared up those hips, we're going to reach the arms forward, lift the chest up, tap the floor down, and exhale, lift back up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last 2. And place those hands down. Let's lift the back leg. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Start to reach the arms forward, find that balance, and lift all the way up. Lower your chest back down, arms reach, leg is reaching back. You lift 10 times. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. 3, 2, 1. Return all the way back to standing and shake it out, you guys. When you're ready, we're going to get into our roll down. Tuck the chin down. Bone by bone, place the hands on the floor and walk all the way out. We're just going to get set up for our ab series and bridging. I want you to have a seat on your bottom. Legs are separated about hip distance wide. Grab those behind those knees with both your hands. Tuck your chin to your chest and let's start to roll back. You're going to roll back just until those arms go straight. Then exhale, stack the spine back up, pulling those arms back in. Inhale, rolling back, tucking that belly button in. Exhale, stack the spine up tall. Inhale back. Exhale, stand. Last 2. Then you're going to reach those arms forward and roll all the way down. Reach the arms back, keep those knees bent, and roll all the way up, reaching those arms back up. You can always go back to the half roll back if that works better for you here. We're going to work through some progressions with this roll up, keeping the knees bent at first, but if you'd like to go ahead and progress, you can stretch those legs out. Just like I'm doing here. Go ahead. Let's do our last few reps. Reach forward and roll it back, bone by bone. Arms reach back behind you. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, forward fold towards those toes. Inhale, round the spine, bone by bone. You lie back down on the floor. And exhale, lift back up again. Reach straight up. Reach towards those toes and roll it back. And again. Forward fold. Rolling it back. Let's rest those arms down. Bend the knees, again, about hip distance wide, 2 fist distances apart, getting into our bridge series. You inhale, lift the hips straight up. Exhale, lower the hips straight down. We're going to do this 8 times total. Be mindful of your shoulder placement here. Keep pushing those arms down into the mat, digging those heels down. The spine will remain completely straight for this hinge bridge. Pushing those knees forward over the toes. Think lengthen through the front of the body, engage through the back of the body. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Then lift to stay. Reach the arms up, and let's start our marching. One leg is brought in towards our chest, maintaining a tabletop position. You clasp the hands right around that knee, then exhale, gently place it down. We'll do 3 on each side, slow and controlled. Then you'll place both legs back down. and start your hip pulses to the ceiling for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and lower it all the way down and windshield wiper those knees from one side of the room to the other. Just opening up those hips. Then getting into set number 2, plant those legs down, plant those arms down. We're going to roll our spine up and roll it back down. Now, if this is too much brain power for you right now, it's very difficult to roll up efficiently and roll down. You can always return back to your hinge bridging, or if it's just not safe or feeling good for your spine today. Honor your body and what it's willing to allow you to do. Inhale, rolling all the way up, and exhale, rolling down. Aiming for our 8 repetitions. Focusing on our hip control, pushing those knees right over the centers of our feet. Let's lift to stay. Open up our hips, one leg at a time. You drop one knee open to the floor, feet stay planted, lift it back up, and then the other leg opens back up. 3 times on each leg single, then stay lifted. We'll go into our double leg open close. Allow those hips to drop as the knees open and lift the hips back up as you bring those knees back up. Inhale, open. Exhale, lift. Aiming for 5 total reps. Then we'll lower it back down. Go ahead and windshield wiper out those knees again. We're about to move forward into our single leg series. So let's open up our hips a little bit. You can grab onto both knees and start to draw outward circles. 3 times each way. Then plant those legs back down on the floor. For our single leg series, we're going to cross one ankle over the opposite knee for our figure 4 bridging. Maintain a neutral spine as you lift the hips and lower them down. Inhale up, exhale down for 3, up 2, and lower. Last one, lift and hold it. Lift the leg to tabletop, then stretch it up to the ceiling. You're going to lower it down to a 45-degree angle, then exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Ankle articulation is totally optional. Then go into your leg circles. Bend the knee, pulling it to tabletop. Stretch it to the ceiling, then lower it down straight. Then reverse, bend, extend, and lift. 2 to 3 times in each direction. Then lift to stay. Pulse it 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest all the way down. Go ahead and switch your figure 4. Grab behind that hamstring and stretch that leg to the ceiling. Then place the foot down. You're already set up for your second set of single leg bridging. Inhale as you lift. Exhale as you lower. Again, aiming for those 5 repetitions, figure 4 bridging. Maintaining that neutral spine, pressing into those arms. Lift and hold. Extend the leg to the ceiling and start your lower lift of that single leg. Exhale down, inhale up. Then start drawing those circles. Call these bicycles or unicycles, if you will. It's a single leg. 3 times each way. bend, extend, and lift, or lower, bend, then extend. Then keep that foot reaching to the sky, pulse 5 times, and lower it all the way down. Go ahead, switch your figure 4. This is just for stretching purposes. Grab behind that hamstring and stretch the leg to the ceiling. Then go ahead and rest down. Diamond shape your legs. Push the bottoms of your feet together. Then windshield wiper from there, just pushing one leg over, turning the eyes to the opposite side of the room. Return to center, switch sides. Knees to one side, eyes to the other. Then we'll return to center. Stay in this diamond shape, this butterfly stretch. Reach the arms up to the ceiling and exhale, roll up. Inhale down. Exhale, reach those arms through the legs. Inhale back. Exhale, reach. Push that belly button in and down. Try to hold on to that engagement. Aiming for 5 total. Reach for pulses. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it all the way down. Reach the arms back up and bring the knees back up. We're going to stretch our one leg long, clasp our hands around one knee, then lift that other leg off the floor. Take your inhale, hold for a moment, then exhale, switch. This is single leg stretch. Try to maintain your chest lift. Focus on pulling that belly button into the spine. Don't allow that low back to arch as you alternate from one side to the other. And if you want to progress, switch into some straight leg stretches here. One leg reaches up, the other one long, just like before. And again, inhale for one side, exhale for the other. Constantly moving your breath, maintaining our pace of our switching legs. Then place those hands right behind your ears and move straight into your crisscross. Opposite knee, opposite elbow. If you're feeling spicy, you can lift that armpit towards your knee instead for a higher chest lift and higher core activation. Then rest down into your butterfly pose. Move your breath for a moment. Just allow your body to relax before set number 2. Then reach those arms up and let's start our roll-ups again in butterfly. This time, inhale, lift, reach your arms. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, lift, reach. Exhale, lower. Focusing on that core control still in our shoulder placement. Roll up to stay and start those pulses. 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower it all the way down, reach the arms behind the head, and close those knees. Switching it up a little bit, bring your heels together and your toes apart in Pilates V. Leave your head down. Start to lower those legs down to the floor, then lift back up. Feel free to either bring your arms down to the mat or place those hands on your hips. By placing the hands on your hips, it allows you to see whether or not you're rocking in your pelvic floor or you're opening your abdominals. If you'd like to progress, we're going to start our leg circles. Pick a direction and stick with it. You can either start low or start high. 3 times each way. Inhale, lift. Exhale, open around and down. Otherwise, just stick with your lift and lower right through center. Reach those arms up. Reach up towards your toes. And try to go into a full body lower down. Full body lift and full body lower. Lifting up that chest. Reaching towards those feet. Inhale up, Exhale down. Then rest again in your butterfly pose. Moving your breath in through the nose, exhaling out through the mouth. Let's reach those arms back up for our final set. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Reach, 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 and lower down. Keep those hips open. Keep that belly button pulling in. Lift up that neck with using your core and your back muscles. Lift to stay and pulse it out. Inhale, inhale, exhale, exhale. 3, 2, 1. Lower it all the way down. Arms stay up. Lift your legs up into tabletop. You're going to lower your arms down as you stretch one leg. Lie down. Arms go back up. Legs back to tabletop. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Just alternating sides. 3 times on each side if it's available to you. For a progression, we'll switch to double leg, stretching both legs out to 45 as we reach those arms and lift that chest. Then lie back down, reset. Last 3. Out for 2. Lift and hold, you guys. Start pumping for your hundreds. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Stretch those legs, 2, 3, 4, 5. Bend those knees, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale and exhale. Bend, inhale and exhale. Extend. Inhale and exhale. Bend, inhale and exhale. Extend. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5, and exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Lie down. Great work, you guys. Allow that core to just relax. Open those knees out. You can windshield wiper your knees here if you'd like, or you can just lie here and rest. You can pull one arm across your body and hook it under with your opposite arm. And switch sides. Let's tuck those knees into our chest, rock from side to side, or forwards and backwards. Then carefully rock yourself up into a seated position, rolling like a ball. Let's get into our stretching. You can either zigzag your legs or crisscross them. We're going to sweep our arms out and up, one arm to the floor, and reach overhead. Exhale for our mermaid. Inhale, stack the spine. Let's do this 2 more times. Exhale, over. Inhale, open, just leaving our eyes to that arm that moves back and forth. Rotate your chest to the floor, then reach out long. Try to lie over that leg. Pushing your chest to the floor. Lift up for an extension. Then we're going to stay facing this direction. Just try to square up the hips, going into a pigeon pose. You can bring that shin as parallel to the edge of your mat as you can, or as you would like. Doesn't really take much to get a stretch here. We're going to move through letting that chest fall over the leg and exhale, lifting up that chest for our swan. Again, just trying to keep those hips down as much as we possibly can. After roughly 3 repetitions, we're going to switch sides. Again, zigzag or crisscross, and it's totally fine if it's different on each side. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, lower one arm down. And lift that top arm overhead, reaching over to one side of your body and back open. 3 times total mermaid stretch. Then we'll reach over, rotate the chest to the floor. Hands are placed down. Walk forward and try to press the chest down to the floor. Walk the arms in. slight extension. Then we'll shift into our pigeon stretch. Square up those hips. Pull the chest to the floor, then press away, exhale. Inhale, slow, lower. Exhale, lift up. Then we're going to stay facing this direction. Get into a 4-point kneel position. Tuck your toes under, reach the arm up, and then sweep it under, exhale. Constant movement, thread the needle. Then we're going to drop that shoulder down to the floor, reach our other arm in front of us, then take it up to the ceiling if you'd like. Exhale, return to center, and back up into the 4-point kneel. Take your other arm up to the ceiling. Exhale, sweep it under. Inhale up. Exhale under. And let's drop the shoulder to the floor. Reach our top arm forward, then up to the ceiling if you'd like. When you're ready, we'll return to center. Get back up into that 4-point kneel. Keep the toes tucked. Push to downward facing dog and march out those knees. You'll push one heel down as you bend the opposite knee. Just switching from side to side. You can do both heels at the same time. Then we'll walk our hands to our feet or our feet to our hands, or both. Slowly roll it up, inhale. Let's get into that final roll down, you guys. Let's stand heels together, toes apart, sweep the arms out and up, eyes to the sky, then exhale, dive forward. Just gonna let the arms hang down here for a moment. Sweep the arms from side to side, or if you're touching the floor, feel free to walk them from one side to the other. We'll shake the head yes, and shake the head no. Make circles with those arms in each direction and roll it up. Sweep those arms out and up, eyes to the sky. Then exhale, bring them out and down. You're done. Thank y'all so much.